Thank you. I'm Bob Haynes, and I went as a cardiologist with the group, and I wanted to give some just people pictures. I wanted to show you initially that this is Jabalia camp, a refugee camp that before going to Gaza in 1993, thought refugee camps would be tents and sand and camels, and it's not that way at all. But each one of these things, if you look out there, looks terribly crowded, and it is terribly crowded. But you don't realize that each one of these duplexes contains about 50, 60 people, and it's the most densely populated area on the face of the earth by human beings. Next. This is an odd picture, not very photogenic, but it's an ambulance backing into a big rectangular hole in the wall, and this is to remind me to tell you one of my two stories. This is the story of going up to the fourth floor of this hospital, in which we were shown these beautiful ICU with all the electronics and the oxygen and suction, and the beds were all made and little blue, what they call chucks, made for, just ready for patients. The only thing missing was patients. And why is that? It's on the fourth floor. There's steep little narrow stairways to get up there, or an elevator. This is the elevator shaft that is not allowed in by the Israelis. The elevator apparatus is not allowed in to this hospital. Next. This is the ER doctor in our hospital who was on during, and when I say on, I mean really on, during this cast lead operation. It has a long, gory list of slides to show, but he tells of during this Operation Cast Lead, they did try to get up to the fourth floor in extremis, carrying these people up these steep stairways on gurneys. Next. This was a gentleman I worked with, a cardiologist, and the chief nurse in the clinic where I was working, and she has an impish smile and was quite impish in her activity with shepherding people around, and was quite fun. She was the one who shouted out about the head of Hamas, "Oh, I hate him!" And she hadn't really gotten things. Like most of the people there, things were pretty terrible. People are not into politics. They're not into being terrorists, although Anne tells the story of the people wanting to grow up and become a terrorist. But for the most part, these people are just doing their jobs like you and I, just trying to get from point A to point B, and from Monday to Friday, or in their case, Sunday through Thursday, and trying to make their way through life. And it's not a big political issue for them, but obviously politics is running their lives this way and that. Next. My cardiologist friend again, just one of the patient rooms, and there were a lot of people running through these patient rooms. I saw maybe 50 patients a day. Next. A Bedouin woman and her son. I just want to point out that I had an awful lot of patients come through and brought by their sons, because the unemployment rate is skyrocketed, so sons have nothing to do, so they can help bring in their family members. A second thing I want to point out is the wonderful honor and love, truly love, in this guy's face for the mother. And I take care of an awful lot of elderly patients who come through my clinic every day, and the sons and daughters and grandchildren who bring the elderly do it with a bit of roll of the eyes and tolerance, but not the love that I saw there. Next. This is in the medical school. These are some women going to medical school, and just walking down the hallway, our group was, and I stopped in a classroom and motioned to them, "Can I take your picture? Can I take your picture?" Doing the pantomime thing. They said, "Sure, sure," and so they mugged for me with this skeleton. It's just a sense of humor, and I mean, life goes on, and people are having an okay time despite these terrible, terrible situations that they find themselves in. Next. And this is my second story then, my Bedouin, and the next picture, thank you, if you would go to the next picture, I said loudly, is his son. And this is my last picture. And this old man, and now go back to the previous picture if you can, is brought in. I saw him 3 times. The first day had terrible angina, and we said, you know, you need to do a heart catheterization. I was in a small hospital. He went to the big hospital in Gaza City and had the heart catheterization done. I saw him the third day and said, wow, you know, you have disease here and here and here and here all over your heart, and left main coronary artery disease. You need bypass surgery. How does that work here? And they said, oh yeah, we can do that. We send him to a Palestinian hospitals. They're in Nablus, Ramallah, or Jerusalem, and they can do that, but he has to get out of Gaza. Big deal. But the Israelis will allow for this, and you know, they are trying to get him out, and so the family, the second hurdle was money, and the family there is going to have to pay for this, and so the family puts together, and a family there is a big unit. You know, it's not 5 people or 12 people, it's 70 people or 150 people, you know, so they're all going to chip in and pay for this guy's bypass surgery. So I saw him the third time. Next day, you know, here's your stuff, we're ready to go. And it turns out, no, he cannot go, and this is his third day picture, because his nephew had been in an Israeli jail 2 years before for throwing stones, and I don't know the crime beyond that. And because the nephew had been in this Israeli jail, there is this collective punishment. The entire family now is punished and not allowed egress or ingress of Gaza or anything of that sort. So he was denied. And my point here is that the statistics are, with the left main coronary artery disease, which this man had, the 70% mortality rate within 3 years. This man will die, but he won't go on the statistics of being shot.